Tabitha Hartley-Beard, Charlotte Haddock, and this is Back to Black. Okay, thank you. Well done, girls. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so let's look at the positives to start with. Let's think things that we've done already. So this is obviously looking at stylistic points to the place, not just technical, but actually looking at stylistic points and how we can improve. So some fantastic play in there, Charlotte, to start off with. Really nice. What I've seen there is lovely change of rhythms throughout. Okay, some nice work with the right hand as well as the left hand as well. Some syncopation used. Okay, so as well as that was excellent. So I've actually seen some nice technical skill at the same time as changing those rhythm, gives it some kind of expression and some extra stylistic qualities to that as well. So that's, first of all, throughout the piece you kept changing that. So it was a really good thing what you were doing. As well as that for you, okay, as well as that for you, Charlotte, I thought as well, it obviously showed it was expressive, and as well as that, there was moments where obviously your timing was very good with obviously with Tabitha herself. So when you were listening, so when you were changing your chords, you wasn't rushing ahead. So it was good sense of timing as well. So good rhythmic awareness as well as that good timing as well. So that's a couple of points. So how do you think we can improve in terms of a performance for the future for this? So what do you think we need to do?
I think I need to try and kind of work a bit like around the piano instead of just staying in one place and maybe like change it a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So one of the things could be moving around, moving up and down the different octaves on the piano. Yeah, that's a good thing we maybe look at as well. Yeah. So what if we did that? What could help us? What we used in Keyboard Club, maybe to help us out with that. So maybe changing. So as I said, it could be different. It could be changing positions on the piano. So what do you think that would do? It change the pitch would be. So it's obviously changing the pitch.
Yeah.
So how do you think that would help us? What we do in Keyboard Club?
Like different scales and stuff.
Scales could help us, yeah. And what else could it do? I think there's one for us because I think it's changing the chords. Sometimes it's quite difficult to do. Okay, so when we're changing the chords, so actually practicing those chords. When we're in Keyboard Club, was practicing the chords. So having smooth transitions around the keyboard, so being able to just to move from one octave to the other, so play a C to another C to another C. For example, if I'm playing a D minor, I might go like a D minor, D minor, D minor, A minor, So I might practice like that, okay? So changing, obviously, positions on the piano. So just using the octave leaps and jumps. So for one thing, it's been dexterity, obviously been speed and dexterity as well. So start off slow and get louder. Speed up. So I might start duh, 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 duh. Practicing, just going up, just changing whereabouts your fingers are. So it could be on a low D, then go to a middle D, then go to a high D, okay? And then speed it up. So using that speed and dexterity, so start slow and speed it up. That's one thing we could work on for you. Yeah, that's good. One thing I really picked up on, okay, big thing as performance, is interacting, okay? Having a stage presence as a keyboard player. So what do you think, what are the things, some of the things what we could do is either maybe, we think about maybe standing up, as well as that, there's something what's the most important part when we're performing in front of an audience? What we must do?
So look at the audience
Look,
and not keep looking.
Good, excellent. You just said it yourself. Not looking down. Okay. So what we'll be looking at now is the skill of playing the chords, which obviously once again using the skill already, changing the chords positions where they are, at the same time as not looking where they are. So looking up. Obviously keep glancing down all the time, but feeling where the chords are instead of looking down at the keyboard all the time. Okay, so there's a couple of things what we need, maybe we can improve on there. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Good, excellent. That's what we can work on. So next thing, Tabitha. Okay, how do you think? Good things. What you did to start off. Oh, my phone's just fell on the floor. Start off with, I thought it was expressive. I thought it was a lovely style in your voice, and a certain stylistic way you have in your voice. He said, lovely pitch bends, okay? So lovely use of pitch bends in your voice throughout it all the time. Quite a stylistic point of like an Amy Winehouse style, isn't it, to singing. It's not very articulate in ways, okay, which is the style where she was singing, quite a laid-back style. At the same time, quite a nasal sound to a twangy sound to it. And I think you was doing all that as well. And you brought it to life. Okay, but there's a few things what we need to maybe think about it to improve on for next time. What do you think they would be then?
Hitting the right note.
I thought, to be fair, I thought it's another thing we could work on. I thought your intonation, actually, pitching was very, very good. I actually thought it was very, very good. So I don't think it's that to be working on. I think there's a few things what I've picked up on for you is one, okay, is obviously stage presence. Telling me the story. Stage presence comes to lots of different areas, but for one, tell me the story. What's the story about?
A boyfriend is going back to a girl, and she's going back to Black Lake depressed, and she's not happy with it. So.
Okay, so how do you think what exercise we could use for you to engage with those lyrics?
Stand up and try and not act it out, but kind of look how she would feel.
Yes, so actually understand, so maybe make it relative towards you, maybe something what's happening in your experience, which then you could link that in towards for the actual performance of, and tell me the story itself, because the lyrics are absolutely fantastic in the story. The lyrics are brilliant, but at the moment we're just singing them like it's just a song. I'm going to understand this to the audience. You want to tell the audience this is the story, and this is how it is. As well as that, to help us with that, is obviously interacting with the audience, so standing up, as you said already before. As well as that, it could be standing up, and then a microphone technique we can be working on as well. And that all comes into stage presence under that thing, okay? As well as that for you, anything else what you think you could improve on as well?
Making my voice stronger.
Good, so projection and dynamics, I think, for you as well. Big one. So projection. So you know that was 100 times before, and I go back to, because at the end of phrases we're kind of losing it. I was losing the volume. So obviously changing the dynamics, changing the volume. So something what may maybe help us. What do you think could really help us from Keyboard Club? What could maybe help us in this? To help us with our maybe holding notes on and things.
I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of one, all right, Tabitha? Okay, are we in, yeah? Okay, so, for example, basically, imagine if I got the keyboard here now, right? So I'm playing, you go back, so, what's the... You, da, da, da. So you might start quite low at the beginning.
Yeah.
So you could be, you, just whole notes on.
Yeah.
And I go back to. So you might start off like a bit like using a you've got a D minor scale. So you've got to use, if we're using a D minor, it's a D major scale, yeah, D minor. So we use a D minor scale, yeah, and then we can go to. So I go back to, yeah, something like that. So I go back to wherever it would be. Okay, so using that, so working out the scale itself, and actually changing the speeds. We did like in the when we was doing keyboard club. Actually think about when we're doing the scales, speed it up, slow it down, and obviously you can go I go back to the next time a bit louder, and change it all the time. And then there's maybe in the middle section, we only said goodbye no more. We only work out those notes, find the interval for in the actual chord itself. We only said goodbye no more. Work them out. So work on the intervals. So intervals, which could help us out, which is using chords. Okay, so that's that as well. Do we get that?
Yeah.
So to be working on that as well. So it's for you. It's to be working obviously stage presence, understanding the lyrics, expressing, interacting with the audience, as well as that dynamics, and just as well as that, just working on dynamics and projection. And for you, is obviously what are we working on?
Trying to make sure that I use all the keys.
Yeah, so different octaves. Yeah, different octaves. So it's not just staying in one octave in one section of the keyboard all the
Like
time.
I said with the D, like keep practicing going up and down.
Yeah, so obviously it could be with a D, then you maybe want to go on to the G, then you want to go on to the B flat, and then want to go on to the A, and just keep going over them on different speeds, okay? So working on your dexterity, using your chords, what you've been using, obviously the skill in the chords, using the technique of the thumb index middle at the same time as that, working on your dexterity, just changing from chord to chord, but then slow, and make it quicker, and quicker, and quicker. Do you understand? So we're working on that. That can really help us with that one of our techniques. As well as that, for you, is that it's obviously stage presence for you as well. Looking up, interacting with the audience, listening, okay, because at the moment your timing's good, but listening, interacting what she's doing, feeling the song itself. There's some lovely transitions in the piece. So I want to see your face, I don't want to see her, okay? I want to see your face, I want the audience to see what you're doing, standing up and practicing like that as well. Alright girls? Cheers, thank you.